Hey guys, this is Introducing Emmy and we're back with another Redline Tuesday. If you guys saw my update video, I mentioned briefly that I had actually started a Redline Tuesday right after I got my new computer, which I'm on right now. And the video kind of messed up because I didn't have the right kind of recording software and it was just terrible. But I managed to scavenge some of the footage, so you'll probably see it in one of the corners kind of playing fast. So you can see what I was working on before, but I actually looked at the file again and I didn't like what I was doing. So I'm going to kind of do a slightly different sort of red line today, and that's why there's a lot more room at the top of the canvas. Also, I should mention I don't know who this is from or like what name they would like to go under. They told me their name was Kareem, but if that's not their name, ignore it. So I don't have like a link or anything to show you guys, so we'll just get started. So this is all I have, this head, that I liked from my initial red line. But I thought it would be fun to really like exaggerate the proportions because we are, I assume, doing Slender Man. And I'm actually going to turn Lazy Nizumi off. But I thought it would be more fun to kind of do some exaggerating on the proportions. See if we can get something a little more interesting. I like to draw my Slender Man with a really long neck. Well, since this arm or this hand is here, I guess we will leave it. And I'm going to show Yins a better way to do tentacles. I'm just going to kind of like loosey-goosey sketch some directional okay. So here's something I should mention. I actually really don't like the idea of Slender Man having tentacles just because I feel like it starts to make it goofy. I don't know. But I'm gonna go with it because this is what I was sent. And in fact, usually when Slender Man is portrayed as having tentacles, they kind of like come out all over the back. Like there should be more like coming down like this. I don't know, I don't want them to cross over. It might get a little... We'll just do something like that for now. Oops. So I totally get what you were going for with the fingers, but this is Slender Man, so you could probably even make them longer. Why is that on a soft brush? I almost never erase with soft brushes, and yet every time I do a Redline Tuesday, I always seem to have a soft brush set up from something I was doing erasing wise. So the neck is actually off center because I'm a genius. Boop. This is already getting kind of sloppy. I think what I'll do is do the clothing on a new layer with a different color. And I'm going to move the head into place. So with the head, I'll put it back over where it was before. Yeah, okay, so we'll do it like this. So my biggest thing when I was redlining this before was there's sort of like a lack of definition on the head. Like, oddly enough, the temple is like shaded a little bit, like this little indent where the eye socket would be over here, and then this would go like up and around the eye, like the orbital socket. So like they shaded over there, but so far as the rest of the face, there's no shading. And I know Slender Man doesn't like have a face, but I would imagine that it's not just like a perfectly smooth surface. You would need to have like just a little bit of shading, like maybe where there's like an implied like shape for the profile, because like I don't know, I guess it could just be like perfectly smooth, but then it almost starts to look alien, doesn't it? Like, I would say Slenderman should have at least a little bit of, you know, like a curve on the profile. Again, like it's a fictional character. It's not real. Or is it? No. So I guess you could do it however you want, but I would definitely not forget to shade the separation between the jaw and the back of the skull, like right here. This is so important, that shape, so it doesn't just look like a mushroom growing out of a stem. So, but I'm going to move the head up here because I'm the boss. Maybe not that long, but I like long necks on things. I think it makes them look creepy. And I guess also if you were going to do it like this if you're going to have like a really long neck like this, I think it would definitely behoove you to do like a very light shading on the head to imply human features so it doesn't become too alien looking. So it stays more horror. Okay, let's do the clothing in that color. Perf. But I'm going to put like an orange very quickly over the body. What color was I doing again? That one? It's too blue. Okay. So I draw suits all the time, but I can't actually say that I'm like an expert on suits. I wear suits, I have suits, I'm a suit kind of person. But I'm sure I'm still drawing them wrong to some degree. So it's always best to reference. But Slenderman just like wears your basic black suit. I'm not sure if it's like an Italian cut or what have you, but let me just kind of clean up some shapes in here. So when you're sketching this, it's good to draw that sort of cylindrical shape like around the neck, like that, you know, to make sure everything is like really snug and like fitting over a 3D shape. When it comes to Slenderman's tie, this was kind of like bulky for me, and it's sort of like laid flat across the body, almost like he was wearing a t-shirt that had like a tie and collar print on them. They were like popular in the late 80s. I would do a nice long tie. Bring the jacket around. So kind of like, let's say like your clavicle is like here, and then like nipples will be there. About halfway between those 2 points, I would do the split in the lapel. Wait, is that the lapel? Yeah. So here's the lapel. Or whatever that thing is, if I'm getting the name wrong. And then here, I like to put just a little overlap. Actually, let's draw. And that actually usually lines up with about where the long part of the tie connects with the knot. For me, anyway, when I draw them. But so let's make sure that we get the other side even. Yeah, see, I was gonna be way off if I hadn't have drawn that line. Yeah, let me go a little lighter here. It's getting kind of hard to see. Okay. So I like to do just a slight shoulder curve here, or like this is kind of the hump where the muscles coming from this clavicle cage and hooking up onto the neck are, so you get this kind of like little hump right there, and then they connect over to the shoulders. Let's put the seam in for like where the sleeves are sewn on to the jacket. Put a little wrinkle there. Here's the deal. I always have a habit of overdrawing my sleeves. So this is like not a very well tailored sleeve. Like he could hide like a whole family up in that sleeve. So go back and like make sure that, you know, you're drawing a well tailored suit, unless you do want them to have like really big baggy sleeves for some reason. I tend to just overdraw and then come back to it later, which is not good. Oh, I kind of want to turn Lazy Nezumi on. Okay. You know, already not liking this. Surprise, surprise. Oops. So this is nice doing your work digitally. You can go in and just manipulate things that you don't like. So I'm actually going to take this, I'm going to tug it more forward. Then I'm going to transform with the warp tool just to get that to curve a little up. Look what I did. I broke it. I borked it. Okay. It's beautiful again. I just wanted it to kind of curve onto the body a little better. Now, down here, ignore the hand for now. One thing I did want to say is when you draw sleeves, they need to sort of, you don't want to like, how could I say this? Okay, so this will be our badly drawn hand, and then this is our arm and the elbow, and all that. Okay, so you don't want the tension point to be all gathered up like right here. You don't want like when you draw like suits or like multiple sleeves, you don't want like every sleeve, if it's layered, to come from that point. Okay? Because it sort of will look like it's sewn together right there. Unless you're doing like some sort of special outfit where that is like a thing and it's all gathered right there. What I recommend doing is sort of gently spacing them out to show like there's multiple sleeves and fabrics and catch types, you know. That way you get sort of like this more natural spacing. Okay, so that's all I wanted to say about that. Also, it looks funny with suits if like your jacket is like grabbing onto your, like it's all like right up there to the edge. So now because Slenderman has such a long body here, it'd be cool if we could like, you know, like I know most people keep him like kind of smooth. But I think it'd be fun if he had like all kinds of like crazy like wrinkles and shit. I won't do it, I'll let it be. It's not mine. But depending on how you want this Slenderman to be, I would say let's do 1, 2, 3. So these are going to be his buttons, his boutons. I actually don't draw buttons on my jackets very often because I'm lazy and usually it's too dark or too small to see them in my comic. So I have a bad habit of leaving them off. You know, I would like my eraser to match the texture of the brush I'm working with. The other thing that I get confused all the time is male cut versus female cut on jacket, meaning like on women the jacket overlaps the other way because it's easier to button with your right hand, whereas male jackets button this way because a woman is expected to put those jackets on for her husband. I'm not even joking, that's like where that comes from. I don't know if that's still a thing. that's usually how it goes. Yeah, we could even put some like little suit pockets on him. I'm not feeling this shape. Hold on, I want to make sure it's neat. It's all about the details and your neatness. Okay, that's a little better. What was that arm doing in the original? Oh, okay, it was kind of like hiding. I'm hiding it again. I don't know, maybe he's reaching for a child or something. Okay. And so far as the suit part, that will do it. Let me bring back the hand. And I will show you how to do the tentacles in just a sec. Actually, I think I'm going to yeah, I think that's better. Okay, so now I'm going to do the tentacles here. And how I would do the tentacles is kind of cheaty, and I've sort of showed this method before, but I love it. I'm addicted to this method. So let me open up LazyNizumi. This is the only part of it that you guys won't be able to replicate properly unless you have the actual program. Yeah, I know, thank you. This just helps smooth out my lines a little bit. But you can do this however you see fit, like you can use the pen tool to draw your line or whatever. So I'm going to just pick some crazy color. This is not going to be final color. And I'm going to put on new layer. This is sort of an impromptu tutorial. I'm actually going to turn the smoothing way up. Okay. So now we're just going to draw some tentacles. Now, like I said, this is just kind of like my partial interpretation of Slender Man. I feel like if you're going to draw tentacles on Slender Man, draw a bunch. Because they're cool. And they can be a really awesome part of your composition. Don't like how this one's like overlapping, so I'm gonna go way up here. I know I'm being like overly picky with my tentacles. I'm sorry. Okay, and if you want, you can do, like, I know he's usually drawn with these kind of like two blade tentacles or whatever, like, So if you want to still do that in some oh, this looks kind of phallic. Okay, well, let's just leave them off. We'll just go with the two big curly Tim Burton-y tentacles for now. Okay, so I'm gonna put a stroke on this. I double clicked on the layer, gonna go to stroke, blammo. Let's do 4, and let's make it the same color that I used. Oh hell, let's just make it red. It's Redline Tuesday. This also lets me see sort of like where there's some like lumpiness that I don't like. Okay. And then I'm going to go to U. And you can make these whatever color you want, but they're going to be white for now. And then all I'm going to do here is just erase to I can't see. Couldn't tell where they were connecting to. So this one's going to come in front of his body. For fun. And I guess we can just turn that to normal, and I want to put the actual strokes on. Let's go to 5, and then let's set the outer lines to multiply so I can actually see kind of like where they are. Okay, well I could fidget with that forever, but this is cool. So I understand that I took this like so far away from what it originally was. But I think it's kind of cool like this, you know, it's different, that's for damn sure. So I think when you have a character like Slenderman, you have to like really pull him like out. Like this feels sort of like compacted or shy almost. Like so I think you need to like push his posture like out more to really make it like intense. I'm not sure what a good word for this would be, but like to make him seem more intimidating. That's a good word. Intimidating. Ooh, I'm screwing this all up, huh? There we go. I like that. There we go. Just to make it more red, I guess. So yeah, I hope that I know I took it so far away from what it was, but I hope this kind of gives you an idea of how to push it, to push some of those angles a little more. Also, I know I have like the sloppiest sketches ever, but pretend it's not that bad. Just trying to clean up a little. Also, don't be afraid to have sloppy sketches because they're just sketches. I mean, they should at least be readable to you. If they're not readable to you, then you have a problem. Yeah, I like this. I think that's fun. That's real fun. All right, so I'm going to call this one good, and I will see you guys next time. Also, keep sending your Redline Tuesdays in to emy.bitner at IntroducingEmy.com. The email is up on my banner. You should see it up there if you're on my YouTube page. And just put Redline Tuesday in the subject line and I'll do it when I do it. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye!